You've been trying to lose fat with zero strategy. In our busy lives, saving time is important and meal prepping might seem a bit too time consuming. So you turn to easy options that are keeping you fat. I'm here to tell you that it's simple. In this video, I'll be showing you 3 nutrient-dense foods that will shred fat and also taste really good so it can keep you consistent. And it will only take 30 minutes to cook each meal, meaning that it will be super simple to adapt. Why listen to me? Well, I've adapted a healthy lifestyle with an extremely packed schedule while running a business for almost a year. And I've figured out to cook foods that not only taste really good, but give serious results, which made it easy to stick to, which is why I made it so far.
This is the easiest meal to cook for fat loss, and it contains super accessible ingredients that you can get from any shop nearby. All you need is ground beef, rosemary, garlic salt, tomato paste, chili flakes, pepper, and hot water. Alright, so it's super easy. First you start off with your beef tallow. Make sure you use beef tallow, okay, or even ghee. Alright, we're not going to be using no olive oil or seed oils, okay. Get that ground beef, get a good color to it, and then afterwards we're going to add our tomato paste. Alright, once you add the tomato paste, we just want to mix it in, make sure that it's evenly been distributed throughout the beef. Then we'll start adding the seasoning. Now, you add what you think is enough depending on how much beef you're cooking. Obviously, I cooked the whole pack, which is 500 grams, which I'm gonna need a generous amount of seasoning. As you can see, I add a lot of garlic salt, a lot of rosemary, a lot of chili flakes. I make sure that I season it properly, because if I under season, then it won't taste good and it won't have enough flavor, therefore leading to less consistency and it won't actually taste good. All right, I'm not even someone that likes to do meal prep that much, so I have to make sure that it tastes good. Okay, so I season generously. Obviously don't do over the top, otherwise it will be too strong, and then after you can't handle the seasoning, and then after it gets a bit too pungent and too concentrated, right? So after you add the seasoning, what we're gonna do is actually mix it up. All right, we want everything to be evenly spread out throughout the beef. And then after that's mixed, we were gonna put some hot water. You can boil it from the kettle, all right, but just pour in some hot water. We want the water level to be just above the beef, and then we're just gonna let that simmer, and it's gonna concentrate the flavor, it's gonna reduce, and it's just gonna be amazing. Like, the flavor is gonna be amazing. All right, so next you just want to cut up some potatoes however you wish. I kind of cube them up. I just prefer them that way. They end up crispy and fluffy on the inside. That's how we want them. All right, and they're easy to pack away as well. You don't have to worry about space. Once they're cubed up, you pack them away in your Tupperware, and it's super simple.
If you're looking for even more results from me, I can give you advice that is personally made for your fitness journey to guarantee results. I have a link in the description that will lead to a questionnaire so that I can understand your position, so that we can hop on a free 15-minute call so that I can give you the best advice. I've got your back for life.
Next, we're gonna get the air fryer, okay? If you don't have an air fryer in 2025, what are you doing? Go get one, okay? So we're gonna air fry these potatoes because it's quick, it's easy. You just stick them in, set the timer, and then after it's ready, season them up, and yeah, make sure they taste good. Yeah, as you can see, I'm doing that right now. And listen, the most amazing thing about this meal is that you get everything in one. You get the proteins, you get the fats, you get the carbs. That's everything you need in your diet. If you lack any of these kinds of things in your diet, you notice that you have no energy, or you just don't have good performance in the gym. You notice so many different deficiencies when you kind of lack every single part. That's why this meal is so amazing, because you get everything with it. Also, another amazing thing about this meal is that it just tastes super good, and it barely takes any time to make. Especially if you have work, you can just make this before work and it'll be nice and fresh. You don't have to worry about frozen foods that are just stale and nasty. And the amazing thing about it is that it will shred you down instantly. Okay, this is just so nutrient dense because the beef is a superfood and it contains nutrients that makes our body thrive. So not only will you shred, but you will go to work with so much energy, and stabilizes testosterone levels, which helps muscle growth and performance, also helping metabolic function, which enables fat loss. And it's just so good. It tastes amazing. You can just never go wrong with this. Look at it. Crispy potatoes, lovely flavored beef, and it's good to go.
This recipe is ideal because the ingredients are easily accessible, takes barely any time to make, and the nutrients that it holds is going to give you crazy results. These kinds of foods are what are going to make you thrive with energy and better your recovery so that it can aid your fat loss. But maybe you don't want ground beef. Here's another recipe that will shred fat and also provide the same nutrients.
My steak grilled cheese sandwich. This is super fulfilling, has so much nutrients, and it's just gonna help you in every way. Just wait for the wasp to go, because my boy was trying to get my food, but I'm not letting that happen. So first, we want to start off with the steak. All right, you could pick whatever steak cut you want. It could be lean, it could be fatty. Right here, I chose a sirloin, so it's in between. And first, you want to pat it dry. All right, because when you pat it dry, the seasoning sticks and also creates an amazing sear. The less moisture, the better. All right, so I seasoned it with salt, garlic powder, and pepper. These are the best seasonings, and normally I like to baste, but I realized that when I start basting, I end up overcooking the steak, and I don't want to overcook the steak. I want it to be tender so it's easy to eat in the sandwich. Obviously, we're sticking with a stainless steel pan, okay, none of that rubbish non-stick. And we're going to be using beef tallow, no olive oil and no seed oils, okay? Those are the kind of oils that are rancid and bad for you and mess your hormonal structure. That's why we're cooking it with beef tallow, okay? Place the steak away from you, okay? So that the oil doesn't splash all over you. And just let it cook. Let it do its thing. And you want to sear it on there for about 2 to 3 minutes, all right? Then you flip it and try to render the fat a little bit so that it can create a good crisp and more flavor, all right? Then once you flip it on the other side, do it again for another 2 to 3 minutes, or just keep your eye on it, all right? So that you know that you get a good cook on it. I got it about medium rare on here. You can see that sear is beautiful, all right? So much flavor in that steak. When I ate that, I loved it, okay? It tastes so good. All right, so remove that off the pan, place it on the cutting board and just let it cool down. You want to let it sit so that the juices can suck up into the steak and it will be nice and juicy and it won't be all dry. Now grate up your cheese. I personally did cheddar cheese and Parmesan cheese. The reason I picked Parmesan cheese especially because it has very high nutrients, all right? It's an unpasteurized dairy, meaning that the milk that it was made with has not gone for a heating process like they normally do with milk. Also has very good source of protein, all right? So that's why I put Parmesan in there. You can put whatever cheese you want, just kind of incorporate Parmesan in there with whatever mix of cheese that you're putting in, right? Then we're gonna butter the bread, okay? You want to make sure you butter it nice and well, okay? We want a good crisp on that bread because that's where all the flavor comes through, all right? We want to make sure this also tastes good. All right, we're not just gonna make this grilled cheese steak sandwich just as it is. We want it to taste good. That's why I add all the seasonings. That's why I add all the butters. Now you might think that all this butter that I'm adding is bad for you and it has too much fat. But listen, fat from dairy and fat from steak is actually beneficial to humans. It holds nutrients that you can't get from any other place, all right? So don't be scared of fat. Fat is good for you and also adds flavor, so don't be afraid of it, all right? So we're only gonna butter one side of the bread because that's the side that's gonna touch the pan, okay? So we want it facing up basically. So now we're cutting up the steak. Cut it a bit thinner than I did. It's a bit thick, so cut it thinly so that when you eat it, it's better, it's more tender and you enjoy it more. All right, but I was extremely happy with this steak. It was just so bussin'. It was so good and I cooked it to perfection. All right, you can even see that once I'm done cutting this steak, I had an amazing reaction. All right, any reaction a chef would give. All right, because I'm a chef, I used to be a chef back in the day, so I'm kind of bringing the spirit back. Look at the way I cooked that thing, so good. All right, I'm giving it a chef kiss right now. That's how good it was. I even tasted it and it was just amazing, all right? So, like I said, it's important to make sure the food tastes good. So now we start assembling the sandwich. We put down the cheese and then after we'll add the steak inside. It might look a bit overloaded, but trust me, I'll get it done, all right? I make sure that I compress it as much as possible, because when you're making a grilled cheese, you have to squish it down, you have to compress it, because if you don't compress it, all the ingredients from inside the sandwich are just gonna fall out, and you don't want that. We want to keep everything inside. We want the cheese to melt properly, so we have to compress it as much as possible, and you'll see me doing that in the video. All right, so I just want to talk about how amazing this recipe is, right, and how good for you it is. All right, it has an amazing source of protein from the cheese and from the steak, and the sourdough fermentation process helps your gut health, right? So I didn't just choose a random bread, I chose sourdough because that is the best option. Steak, but guess what? I don't care. I still ate it and it was bussin'. All right, so now you assemble the sandwich and you're gonna put the butter facing on the pan. All right, so you get a good crisp on there, as you can see, just like that. You only need a couple minutes on each side. Make sure you compress it as much as possible, okay? As you can see, I'm doing it right now. You want to compress it, quick flex, all right? Because I got those gains from eating foods like this, all right? So as I was saying, this meal will burn fat because every aspect of it gives you nutrients, and every aspect of it will help your body be able to get into that point where you use fat for energy, right? There's a good amount of carbs, there's a good amount of fat, and there's a good amount of protein in this whole meal. And the reason it's important to have carbs, dairy, and protein inside of your meals, all right, generally, is because you need all of them, all right? So there's a lot of people that do carnivore, right, where that means they don't have any carbs, they just have purely fats and meat. But the thing that they lack is that they don't have carbs. What do carbs do? Carbs help with hunger. All right, people that have carnivore diets, they actually undereat because they don't have carbs to help them spike their insulin, which ends up making them hungrier, okay? But it depends what kind of foods you have, right, in terms of carbs. There are healthy carbs like fruits and sourdough and honey. These are the kind of things that they won't overly spike your insulin, that will make you crave more. Things like processed sugars, that's exactly what happens, right? Also, carbs actually help your body hold hydration, right? So things like electrolytes in your kidneys. Carbs actually help your body hold electrolytes, meaning that you stay hydrated. All right, now that the sandwich is done, we're gonna take it out. Both sides are nice and crispy. And then after, we're gonna cut it up and put it in a glass container, all right? We're not putting it inside no plastic containers, because afterwards you get microplastics in your food, which actually disrupt hormones. Listen to that crisp. Yeah, man, that sandwich is just too good, man. It's hard not to make it again. And it's super easy, takes less than 30 minutes, and it's done for the day. All right, you eat this one sandwich and you'll be full and satisfied.
This meal is super easy and you only need one pan. And again, it has super high protein and is a better alternative for people that don't like ground beef on its own. Meaning less cleanup time, more energy, and easy fat loss. It's a win-win. But maybe you're not a beef person early on in the day. This is a different recipe that is an alternative that also provides huge nutrients and is light on the stomach.
This is my go-to meal every single day. Fried eggs with sourdough bread is the best thing ever. I can eat this every day, and I've literally been eating it every day for the whole year. That's how good it is, all right? The good thing about this is that we preserve the yolks. Yolks is gold, okay? It has so much nutrients, and cooking it this way is gonna give you the most natural form of the yolk, and that's what we're looking for. And this meal is super simple, maximum 10 minutes. So first we start off with butter in the pan, crack your eggs, and after we're gonna toast our bread. Okay, we're gonna toast the bread while the eggs are cooking so we can be as efficient as possible. We're looking to get things done quickly and efficiently so that we can get this meal done and get going and starting our day. Now, some people might not like the eggs runny, so listen, cook it however you like. Even if you want to flip the eggs, or if you want to cook it all the way through, even if you want to scramble it because you like it that way, that's fine, because eggs are full of nutrients and they're good either way. It's just the best way to cook it like this when the yolks are preserved, because that's where you get the most nutrients. This meal alone got me shredded down so quick. Like, I used to barely have any visible abs. Maybe within a couple of weeks, just eating this meal has shredded me down so quick. And it helps hormonal stability, helps recovery, and so many things that are just gonna help you thrive throughout your day. You just get so much energy when you eat this, all right? Another good thing to add on the side for extra protein is just to have a block of Parmesan, grate it on, or even just eat it with the eggs as it is. And that's it. It's super simple. Just pack it away in your glass container and you are good to go. Full of nutrients, fat loss is inevitable, and wasting no time.
Now listen, I'm a person that doesn't even like to cook because I'm just too impatient. And I'm sure a lot of you are the same. But the difference is I know how to create these meals into a routine. And these meals are easy to incorporate into your routine. If you're someone that cannot prepare your meals at work, and you still continue to go down this route of not preparing food, which will then still lead you to having last resort foods when you're at work, which are most commonly bad foods, which is destroying your progress. And you'll continue to get hungrier, causing you to have more snacks and more food that's gonna stop your weight loss. And you'll continue to have energy crashes, which is stopping your performance in your business and in the gym. Now, this meal personally, I have it every single day, and I know that it gives serious results. And the nutrients that it provides will not only benefit you in the gym, but it will benefit you in your business and will make fat loss feel effortless.
So now you know how to meal prep a full day within just 30 minutes. But there's one thing that will multiply your results even faster, and it's the training system that you pair with your nutrition and diet. Without having both, you will never see results. Click on this video right here where I speak about training less is better and how you decrease time in the gym while maximizing results. But wait, before you go, I've still got something important to tell you. Like we've established, meal prep alone won't get you the results you're looking for. You need a training plan that's gonna work with your nutrition and not against it. Most people train too often, don't recover, or just follow multiple workout plans that make them plateau. Get this wrong, and your meal prep won't even matter. You'll be stuck with the same body even from eating clean. This is why I created my Train Less blueprint. It shows you how to train less, recover better, and grow faster. Click the link in the description where you can book a free call with me and we can speak about your next steps in your fitness journey. I'll see you there.